Hello everyone, the Flying Scotsman here, and welcome to this video. In this video we are going to be building a computer based around the motherboard and CPU that I recently unboxed. Now before we get down to it, I thought I would talk you through it all. So that's exactly what I am going to do right now. So let's begin. First of all, one of the the largest thing that we can see here is, of course, the motherboard. Now this is an Intel SE440BX-2 motherboard. As the name suggests, it has an Intel 440BX chipset. It has 4 PCI slots, 1, I believe, AGP 4.0 slot, and 2 of the older style ISA slots. It has 3 SD RAM slots. I'm not sure what capacity it can take, but it has a slot 1 slot, which is currently populated with a Pentium II 400 MHz, quite a nice wee chip. I believe it's a Deschutes Pentium II, and that's what's going to remain in it. Let's see, what else can I tell you? A couple of IDE channels, floppy disk connector, has a CR2032 slot for a battery, and on the rear we have PS2 mouse and keyboard ports, 2 USB ports, LPT parallel IEEE 1284 printer port, 2 RS-232 serial ports, sound, so that'd be speaker out, line in, mic in, and MIDI game port connector. And this is known as the PC98 layout, as it was adopted by NEC back in the day. All the capacitors are electrolytic, but they seem to look absolutely fine. So that is the motherboard. Now, for graphics, I have something quite special, although I'm not sure they work, because I certainly didn't when I tried them in the RM box at the office. But I'm going to try them in this board, because I'm hoping that, you know, the AGP slot is at least a bit newer or better or something. One can hope. And what we have here is a, we have a couple, we're going to test them both if we have to, hopefully we don't. Voodoo 2000 graphics card, AGP. So hopefully, I think it matches the slot. So hopefully I should just be able to install that. Although the fact that there's not a thing for this to cling on to, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But we can but try. If it doesn't work, I'll have to find something else that may or may not fit. So that will be fun. We also have something else which I'm hoping fits and works. A 128 SD module. This is PC100, which I believe this CPU is, PC100, with a 4x multiplier to bring it up to the 400 MHz speed. For storage, this is something that I've used a couple of in the office. I'm pretty sure this board has a 32 gig limit for the hard disk drives, so in that spirit, we have an IBM DeskStar 30GB hard drive, which will be absolutely perfect for this build. We also have DVD burner and floppy drives, and you'll notice that these are black. So yeah, we'll come to that in a wee moment, but before we do, one last interface card I've got to show you, excuse me, is this Realtek ISA Ethernet card. And if this is, I believe this came from the Compact Presario 4620. So that's all the components that are going to be going into this new build. So I guess without further ado, let's start the build. So the first thing that we need is a case, and that's a thing I've not shown you up until now. So what we're looking at for a case: a generic mid to late 90s beige box. Now that would look stupid with the black drives. Plus I know that a lot of people want me to use those kind of cases for a build like this. However, that's not what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is use another one of these Gangster FCBOS02A cases. The same one that the Flying Scots machine is currently built in. These are good cases. Unfortunately on this machine I don't think I'll be able to use any of the front audio ports. But well, let's get started. But because we're going to be unboxing something, safety precautions first. If you're the sort of person who thinks that Lancashire Council were right to double disabled passengers' bus fares at the same time as okaying funds so that they could all get top of the range iPhones if they wished, if you think that that's a good idea, then you're probably going to need a responsible adult to do that for you. Also, it would be a good idea to have a cup of tea. Now, I've not long had some, but the kettle is on, so I reckon I'm covered. So, there we go. Oh yes, it's another one of these. It's blue, obviously. Okay, let's upend this. And while I'm at it, what I will do is collapse this box, as I will be taking it out to the recycling bin in a wee bit. There we go. Right, okay, so let's get rid of this polystyrene. while I'm at it, I'm going to see if it has... Yes, it does. It appears to have a recycling logo, which is good. Hopefully I'll be able to recycle this. This is good. And yes, these cases are designed for Core 2 quads and the like, but well, the other case that I have is brilliant for a trial build. So, just to talk you through this case, this case has 4 5¼ inch drive bays, 2 USB 2 ports, microphone in, headphone out, and a power button, and a 3.5 inch drive bay. Nice. Aye. Now this case uses a more traditional let's mount the power supply at the top design, which means that the power supply, which actually I probably should dig one out, should fit without any kind of flex for the cables or anything like that. So let's oh, we've got some bits and pieces in here. So let's untie that lot. Okay, what do we have? We have small instruction booklet. And we have a bag full of screws, cable ties, and no PC speaker at all. I guess we don't... Oh no, there is a PC speaker in the case, so that's good. So, let me go and see if I have a power supply, and I will be right back. So, here we are. One power supply. Excellent. So, guess... I mean, it's probably the last thing I should do, but it's... but I've decided it will be the first thing, because why the hell not? Well, first of all, I'm going to see... Right, there doesn't seem to be any mount on that side, but... well, not for the 5¼ inch drive bays anyway, but that really doesn't matter because I'm going to unscrew it anyway. So, that's what to do. We'll just... And you know, I think we should be able to get away with using this blanking plate. I just need to punch out a couple of the holes and then we should be sorted. That's good. Let's do that now, actually. Actually, I think I was able to do that on the other board. Okay, one USB hole punched out, and one game port hole punched out. There we go. These are quite cheap cases, but for builds like this, they will do nicely. They're quite nice, functional. I like them. I like them. Excellent. Right. So, we have mounts for the hard disk on this side. For the optical drive, we don't have any. That's okay. Guess we really don't need them. What I will do though is I will undo the front of the case. Well, I'll attempt to. Never been very good at these. There we go. And now I've got this one. Excellent. What I can do now is just undo these clips. One for the floppy drive and one for the optical drive. 1, 2. And there we go. There's mounting for a fan should I wish to add one. Excellent. So while we're in here, why don't I just add the flippity-floppity drive? And the CD-ROM drive. Certainly think that might not be a bad idea. There we go, I think. Holes are different on this side. That is very strange. Yes. Oh well. We got them in. Got it in. There we go. And now for the CD-ROM. Hoping this drive works, not tested it. Let's have a look. It's set to slave. I think what I'm wanting to do maybe is set it to master. This is going to be quite a bit more simple, I think, than the other machine. Pentium II machine does not necessarily need a DVD burner, but that's what I had. I want it to be able to at least read DVDs. Right. There we go. So that is set to master. There we go. There we go. Nice. So, this look is starting to look more like a system already. So, next thing I want to do is I want to put some standoffs in the case for the motherboard, but before I can do that, I need to see where the motherboard has some holes. So, what I'll do is I'll just, whoops, I'll just do a small test fit here. Can't really do much at the moment because there's well, there's a fan there's a Molex connector in the way. That's right, good. That's now out of the road. So this has got 1, 2 holes. So that's fine. And there's one down there as well. And then 1, 2, 1, 2, so 6 holes. Yeah, I think these. So these ones. Sorry, I realize you can't actually see. So I want these ones and these ones. But do I want to start at the top or do I want to start a wee bit of the way down? That's another question. So once again, just going to test fit the board just to actually see if I can take notice. Yep, I believe I will need the very top ones. So that is fine. I can now start sorting out some screws. Righty-ho. Right. So I believe we have some screws here, which is good. And we have some more. Here are the standoffs that we will be needing. Here's the zip ties that we won't be needing. And then we have screws to mount the hard disk and CD-ROM or anything like that. Excellent. So, I guess now it's time to actually fit the standoffs. 6 of them. So now we have the standoffs fitted, and I needed 7, not 6. So, next thing to do now is to fit the motherboard for real this time. Now, I believe it's these screws that I want to fit the motherboard with. So, folks, it's time for another time lapse. So that's the motherboard secured into the case. Now, some of you will have noticed that I've not yet installed the memory. There's a good reason for that. I will need to check the motherboard manual for instructions on how to install the front panel connectors. You know, due to being visually impaired and being unable to read it on the board itself. So while I'm doing that, I may as well check the motherboard manual to see for myself what memory is compatible with this board and in what capacity. So that's what we're going to do now. So I've got my Dell tablet here, which I'm just going to quickly log into. Oh, game of solitaire. How nice. It's the last thing I was doing on it before it ran out of battery. Oh well. Okay, so after consulting the manual, I do believe I have all the front panel headers connected. So, next thing to do is I want to install a memory module. So, like I said, I have this 128 meg, which will be enough for a Pentium II system. Some people might even argue maybe too much, but I think it's just right. Good. Excellent. And while I'm at it, I need to install a new CMOS battery. So let's do that now. It's right in at the bottom corner of the board. There we go. And now it's time to install some expansion cards. See how best I can do this, and how best I can angle this so you all can see. Right, good. So yeah, this is going to go in and out of focus. I apologise. So there's a wee lever that I have to pull. Yes, this is a toolless case, and I know a lot of people don't like those. Gotta be honest, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of some of them, but this one's not been too bad. So I think... Oops. Right, I think it's this one. No. Jings Crivens. Hand-eye coordination. Could do with some. There we go. Probably should have done a test fit, but never mind. Okay, let's try this card. With a nice big heatsink and a nice video out. Excellent. Perfect. And then I'm going to open up the second to last slot so that I might drop in the network card. I'm just going to dust it off a wee bit. Oh great, this has got some tantalum capacitors on it, so if it goes it'll be like boom, man. Gotta love the tantrum caps, as UXW Bill calls them. There we go. Now you have it. Nicely installed components. So, next things I need to install are, well, a power supply might not be such a bad thing to install. So I have this Aztec supply here, which of course is off camera. Because that's helpful. Okay, good. Good. There we go. Now, let's get this screwed in. Alright. One power supply installed, hoping it works. I believe it does. So, right, let's plug some stuff in. I'll install a hard drive as well. Before we really get around to installing anything major though, probably not a bad time to start thinking about some IDE cables. Right. First of all, I am going to plug in this fan because there's no reason not to. But also I'm going to see if I can oh, there we go. Disentangle this. That's good. That's done. Right. I believe this will connect to the LEDs. So plug the fan and the LEDs in. That's good. There we go. Yep, I think it's a good idea. I will plug this one into there, if I can. It would be nice. Or, there we go. And then that will be for the CD-ROM drive. Excellent. So we are nearing readiness. Obviously, you know, as this machine comes closer to being finished, I become more nervous. You know, is it going to power on? Or is there going to be anything wrong with any of the components? things like that. Oh. Okay, we have the hard disk. Let's see what this has been set to. Okay, you guys may be able to see that, but I can't, so I'm just going to use a magnifier. And it's been set to master. Perfect. That's exactly what I would have set it to. So, with that in mind, I am going to turn the machine the right way up, and let's get some brackets out, and we'll get the hard disk installed. Come on. Right. I think I need to line it up. There we go, I think. Definitely. Maybe? Yes, there we go. Yeah, and I know my cable management is terrible. Well, there we go. The hard drive is now installed. Isn't that magical? and this will be the perfect cable for it in the floppy drive. So let's get some cables going. I have cables. Not sure if they're 40 or 80 pin or not, but I have the cables anyway. Right, first thing I want to do is install the floppy cable. So let's see if I can find it. I think yep, it's this one here, which is set away from the board slightly, maybe. Okay, I think it would go in this way up. Right. Right. Actually, I think it's this way. I just want to make sure I've got it in the right way, because floppy cables, they can be plugged in the wrong way round and back to front. So yeah, it can be quite fun. Luckily, both the cable, the board and the drive are all keyed, so it should not be too big of a problem. If only I could get this connected. There we go. Okay, one end is connected. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stuff this here. So my pathetic attempt at some form of cable management. This is, isn't it brilliant? Isn't it powerful? Right, so I'm just going to plug this in here. Good. One floppy disk. Now this cable quite handily says hard disk on it, so that's why I'm going to plug it in. Right, before we do though, I should probably check to see which channel is which, because the hard disk obviously needs to go into the primary IDE channel. Right. Right, let's go back up to the main diagram of the motherboard, I think. Probably the best idea. Right, that's not a bad plan. So S IDE connectors. Thanks, that's very helpful. I'm guessing the primary IDE connector is closest to the CPU, just like the first memory slot is, but well, you really can't tell for sure. Yes, this is how to install an memory module. I get it. Upgrading the BIOS, good. Motherboard and connectors, here we go. And I can also find where the CD-ROM audio cable goes. That's going to be quite useful. Legacy CD-ROM audio. It's somewhere here, just above the AGP slot. Okay, so maybe it's not going to tell me which IDE channel is which. Very helpful there. Very much appreciated. Yeah. Thanks. Well, I guess I'm just going to have to guess. If I get it wrong, it's not going to be the end of the world. Hopefully, just swap them over. As one would. There we go. Same with the CD-ROM. One CD-ROM drive connector coming up. Yes, master. Wait a moment. It's time for the CD-ROM legacy audio cable, and I think it's actually the older style connector, which is quite useful actually, because that's what I have that I've rescued from the Presario 4620. So I'm just going to grab that. Okay, I'm going to have a mutiny on my hands, I just know it. I have to put the CD-ROM down here because, well, the audio cable, when I reach up there. So, to be honest, may as well just plop it down here, like so. Yeah, sorry and all that. That said, it will make it easier, much easier, to tell the difference between the Flying Scots machine and this one, which I've decided I'm calling the Loch Ness machine, because why not? Righty-ho! So now it's time, I think, to start connecting some cables and trying to do what I can to try and tidy those that are not in use out of the road. Alright, you can go there. So so can you, actually. You're an AT connection. What do you do if you're an AT connection? What are you doing now? You don't need you. But thanks for being here, just in case. Some boards are a bit strange, don't you know? Right, right, so yeah, probably best to have the small X connector facing the right way. Excellent. Right, now it's time for the other connection. Here we go. Floppy disk first. This would have been easy were it not for a dirty great CD-ROM drive in the road, but we will get there. You know what? Whoops. Let's oh my. Alright, there we go. I'll just move that out the road just for a moment. So just get a teensy bit more room. Yeah. There we go. And then I can put the Molex connector for the hard disk into the hard disk. There we go. And then I'll just push the CD drive back in the way, and then we can mount it once more. And that, I think, is the system built. So we've got DVD burner, similar sort to what we have in the Flying Scots machine. 3.5 inch floppity disk drive. And the rest of the components, which I believe are all nice and plugged in. Hopefully this power supply goes. Hopefully this graphics card works. Hopefully the motherboard's okay. Hopefully the front panel connectors are in. Hopefully the processor's good. Hopefully the memory is good. And hopefully the hard disk, optical drive and floppy drive are good. Hope that the case will be sturdy enough to hold this. Good. And this case has a nice wee date of... I can't see it! of that. Okay then. Okay, so now the system is plugged in, but not switched on just yet. So, we're getting ready to do that now. It's connected up to the KVM switch along with the Presario 2240. No speakers are connected as of yet, but smoke test! Oh yes! Would you look at that? Okay, everything's been cleared. Pentium II is there, the Voodoo card is working! Oh yes! Right. Okay, so the hard disk is there. CD-ROM drive is also there. Let's have a look. Oh wait, my mistake. This is a 3000. Nice! Never realised I had a Voodoo 3000. It's exactly the same as what's in the Grampian Electronics machine. Sounds like the floppy drive's working. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the date and time, because I can. So it's time is 16:43. The date is 09/10/2016. No, 2018, sorry. What am I on about 2016? Okay, plug and play OS. Yep. Peripheral config. Yep. All that seems to be good. ID config. Right, I thought that might be a problem. CD-ROM drive is in the top slot in the wrong channel. Anyway, soon sort that out. Floppy drive is right where it's supposed to be. Yep, video config. There we go. Resource blah blah blah. Inactivity timer off. Hard drive enabled. VESA video power down. Standby. Fan always on. Nope. Quick boot mode enabled. Boot time diagnostic screen disabled. Okay. What I want to do is there we go. Have the CD drive first. Exit saving changes, yes. So the machine is completely ready, and as you can probably see, it has spec badges on. There's a Pentium II badge with MMX. Underneath that there's a 3DFX badge, and then to the right of the Pentium II badge there's a Design for Windows 98 and NT badge, which is about right, I would say, because this machine most likely will work with both 98 and NT4. I think the Voodoo card works with NT4, although that I'm not 100% on, but I would probably reckon that it does. So, anyway, now it's time to power it on. I'll show you the BIOS, then we'll boot from a disk and format the hard drive. The 30 gig disk star did not work. Must have broken either on its way to me or while it was sitting on top of my meter cupboard. But either way, the machine has a working hard drive. So let's power it up. And all the LEDs are working. So there we go, Voodoo 3000. Okay. Intel motherboard. Nice. Okay, 128 megs of RAM, 512k of cache on an Intel Pentium II, clocked at 400 megahertz. Date and time are correct. Have a plug and play operating system. Let's tell that to the BIOS. Numlock auto, yep. Peripheral config, yep, absolutely fine. Audio, yep, legacy USB support. Do you know what? I think so. To match their... oh no, this is a 20 gig hard drive. You know what? That'll do. That's fine. For some reason, I don't know why I thought it was a 12, but oh well. Unless it only formatted as a 12 on the Presario. Ah well. TSST Corp CD DVD-W drive. I hope this has got analog audio out. Good. ID controller. Both floppy options enabled. Floppy write protected. No! View event log. Yikes. It's the floppy drive function. I'm pretty sure it is. Let's mark all this lot as red. No unread events. Good. Video config. Absolutely fine. Resource config. Yeah, absolutely fine. That's good. Power management enabled. Inactivity timer off. Hard drive enabled. VESA power down standby. Fan always on. No. Boot time diagnostic screen. Nope. Quick boot mode enabled. Scan user flash area disabled. After power failure last state. Onboard MRAM power on. On LAN power on. On PME state off. Yeah, first boot device. Okay, I'm gonna go for the tap your CD-ROM drive first, and then the hard drive, then network boot. Hard drive, Mac Star. Good. Removable drives, legacy floppy drives. Good. Save configuration changes. Excellent. Now it's time to actually do a thing. And see if the floppy drive works as well. And I have a fresh copy because I need it. There we go. It's working. Okay, we're going to run the disk administrator. .6 gigs, that's absolutely fine. Alright, so what I want to do now is create a new primary FAT32 partition. Good. I'm just going to eject the floppy disk. Non-system disk, press any key. Well, that's absolutely fine. Right, let's see about getting an operating system installed. Windows 98. Oh, this is second edition. Okay, let's boot the machine up. So, you know how it goes. I don't want Windows 98 First Edition to come along and burger this up. Okay, looks like I can't do that, but I can format the C drive and make it bootable. Okay, so let's do that. Loch Ness PC, it's very quick. Windows, CD Windows, CD options, CD options, MD cabs, CD cabs. Copy the 198 star. Oh, this is fantastic. It's exactly what I'm needing after building a computer. It's time to install Windows 98. Which means it's time for a cup of tea. Obviously it is, because this is my channel. And I have this Cytec game controller, which I got through FreeCycle. I've got this connected up. It's a Cytec P120 controller. And I have drivers for it. Good. Okay, now here's the moment of truth. Firstly, is the hard drive going to work? Secondly, is this Windows 98 Second Edition setup? Or is it really nasty Windows 98 First Edition? Oh, I do again. The nerves, folk! The nerves! Setup is preparing the Windows 98 setup. Okay, are we ready? It's a big moment. Drum roll! Did someone just roll a drum down a hill? That's not what I meant. I mean, I know the drum is... You know what, never mind. Just let's continue. Damn it! It is Windows 98 First Edition, and do you know how I know? That Outlook Express icon is the old one. Das ist nicht gut. Das ist nicht gut. Das Windows 98 First Edition ist nicht gut. Nein. Nein. Mayday. Mayday. Windows 99 première édition, ce n'est pas plus bon. System de la muerte. Anyway, okay, so I guess Windows 98 first edition not being the best operating system is probably the thing to take away from this particular part of the presentation. Anyway, okay. However, what do I have here? I might have something that might be able to help us all out. Oh, yeah, that went well. Windows 98 2nd edition, boxed. Would you look at this? So, I finally have myself a copy. It looks like it's been dragged through a hedge backwards repeatedly. But we have unbooked disc and oh my goodness, this is sealed. This has never been opened. Oh wow. Oh baby. So I reckon it's, oh no, it has been opened. Nice. Okay, so I reckon it's time we actually opened it. And, well, why don't we copy the setup files from this disk? Okay, take two. Hopefully this is Windows 98 2nd edition. It's time. Ooh. Okay, so this is actually a retail copy of Windows 98. So, yeah, for the first time ever, I'm actually putting the product key in at this side of setup. Right, okay, so let's put it in now. Okay, that's done. Okay, so I'll type in my name. Yep, this is 98 2nd edition. No internet connection sharing. No online services. No web TV for Windows. Okay. Pentium II 400 megahertz, 128 MB, 20 gigabyte, Voodoo 3, Yamaha XG, yeah, DV. Even though it's a Flying Scots machine that has the Firewire card. Okay, so Windows 98 is installing. I am going to go off and get some drivers. So I guess I will be right back the other side of setup. So we are now ready to start Windows 98 for the first time. I'm currently downloading the drivers for the Voodoo 3. Okay, so I think what's going to happen here is this is just going to continue now as it normally would. So look for hardware, find hardware, restart if needed, find more hardware. Ask me the date and time and what time zone I'm in, set up the control panel, tie up the last bits of loose end, update system settings, play that wacky wee drum animation, and then hopefully we get to a desktop. So I think the best thing I can do is to let it do what it's got to do, and I'll meet you all at the desktop. Okay, so now we're getting ready to go to the desktop. Give me a moment. I need to copy some drivers. Okay, so now we are at the log on screen. Okay, so well, this isn't the best sound in the world. It doesn't look like the network card has been picked up by Windows, which it should have done. So it looks like, well, first of all I'll go into the device manager. It's not being picked up by Windows at all. So, because it's such an old card, I get the feeling that I might have to scan for it manually. Although, to be honest, it probably should have been picked up by Windows by itself. So, yeah. Yeah, I think I want to search for the hardware. Luckily this machine is, well, it's toolless to open and to get an expansion card out, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So what we're doing now is we're just a way to see, you know, if there's any hardware to be found here. And the basic system appears to work. I'm able to get, obviously, a nice picture. I mean, we'll have to see how things pan out when the drivers are installed. Windows has finished detecting your hardware but did not find anything. Right, okay. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well then, looks like I'm going to have to, well, at the very least, try taking out the card and putting it back in. Sitrep. I've installed a different PC, a different Ethernet controller, a Sys 900. And, well, what I'm going to need to do now is find the drivers for it. And then we can continue with the rest of the machine. Now, unlike the other card, this one is a PCI card. But I was able to use the same slot as it was a shared PCI ISA slot. So, hopefully this should work. Okay, so we're going to now install the drivers using a method that time has nearly forgotten about. Who remembers these? What this is a round, shiny, circular thing called a compact disc. And this computer has got the hardware with which to read data bits on this disk. So essentially what it can do is it works like a much slower but read-only USB drive. And what we're going to do is install drivers from it. Sorry, I'm a bit further away at the moment. Well, I essentially want to see whether the Ethernet driver is working or whether I have to try a different card. Hopefully I shouldn't do though. Hopefully I should be able to get this one to work. So let's reinstall this driver. Let's have a look on the CD-ROM drive. Oh, that's nice. There we go. SIS 900 base PCI fast Ethernet adapter. Probably not the best, probably not the first place I would go to for an Ethernet adapter, but hopefully if it works and it does what it's supposed to do, then that's fine by me. Excellent. We'll just see how well this goes. If it works, I will button this system back up and then we'll get on with installing the rest of the drivers. Normally I would install the chipset driver first. What the hell? Resource conflict. Ah, what? Seriously? How... Okay, I don't understand why this is doing this now. Why is it doing this? It seemed to be fine before. I don't honestly know what the hell's going on, but I don't like it. I mean, this should be... Seriously. This all should be plug and play. It's not even telling me what resources it's using so that I can free them up. Right, let's see what I can do. Let's see if Windows will tell me what resources a network card's using. Then I can maybe free them up in the BIOS. Right, okay. Let's see what it's using. Set rep. All the drivers are installed. I managed to sort out the Intel resource conflict by Googling the problem. People were saying to move the card up one PCI slot. quite interestingly, people were having conflict in the same PCI slot I had the network card installed in, slot 4. And they were saying move it up one. Well, I moved it up 2. And, well, things are, I would say, a wee bit better now. So, here we are. We have we have the 3DFX card all nice and installed. So I reckon that, well, I reckon there's only one thing that I can really do now from this point on, and that is to, well, I guess play a game. Whoops. Now there are games that use Voodoo that I've not been able to get to run properly on anything, if I'm honest. Pandemonium is one of those games, but I've installed the GL tool, the 3DFX tools. Hopefully I might be able to get something to run. Also there's the original Tomb Raider. I'd like to see if I can get that to go as a 3DFX title. Maybe Quake as well. Okay, so I've had a look at finding Pandemonium. It doesn't seem that I can get it to run at the moment on my 3DFX card, but that is a work in progress. However, what I can do is, well, I can do a 3D Mark 2001, see how this whole system stacks up. Now, I don't expect it to stack up the greatest. The Voodoo 3 is quite old. Certainly wouldn't stack up to the GeForce 3 Ti200, but it's not meant to. It's meant to be a different class of system altogether. This is why the Pentium II is meant to play, you know, that awkward era of games that, yeah. The awkward era of games that just didn't want to play on certain things. I do plan to install Wipeout and Tomb Raider and, you know, all that good stuff. Get those going. So, with all that said, let's sort this out anyway. Right, okay, Crystal Dynamics, nope, madanian.com, 3D Mark 2001 SE. Oh, would you look at that, Pentium II. Right, benchmark. Because, let's be honest, what else can I do? Oh, that's a good sign. Oh, that's beautiful. That's not gliding, that's doing the opposite of gliding. I reckon if I was running 3D Mark 99, it would probably look a lot better, but this is what I've chosen as my benchmark, 3D Mark 2001. And yeah. It's a slideshow. And to be honest, the tests only get worse from here on out. Hopefully, it shouldn't take too long because I'm guessing there's a hell of a lot of stuff that this won't be able to run. Okay, this is running slightly better than I would have anticipated. Dragonistic, high detail. Why? ¿Por qué? James. You can hear something in the computer emitting a high-pitched whine. Okay, this one's run quite well. See, by 2001, Voodoo was kind of falling out of favour, and although 3DFX was eventually bought by Nvidia, who were very much in favour at the time. Gotta say, this card is trying its best. There's some absolutely beautiful benchmarks on here. I've always quite liked that one that we've just seen. Yeah, I did have a feeling that some of these would be skipped. Vertex shader. I probably should have been kinder and used 3D Mark 99. You know, I'm probably going to wind up with the NSPC3C calling at my door. You're probably thinking, I've heard of the NSPCC, but what the bloody hell is the NSPC3C? Well, that would be the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to 3DFX cards. I guess up here it'd probably be the SSPC3C. Oh, look at this! There's a guy shooting off his gun. You think that's supposed to impress me? Right. That's probably the lowest 3D Mark score I've ever seen. But hey, what do you expect? I think what I will do is I will save this. But I didn't get this PC built to benchmark stuff. I would have to be some kind of a colossal apocalyptic dingleberry to build a PC just for the purposes of benching it. No. Computers are meant to be enjoyed. So, that's basically what I will do. However, and I think for this video, I'm going to end it here. And I will, of course, keep you posted update-wise, you know, for what I've got planned for this computer in the future. Like I said, plan to play some mid-late 90s games on it. Stuff that really will shine with 3DFX. Stuff like Tomb Raider, Wipeout. You know, basically all the stuff that everyone else played on the PlayStation. And, you know, I've always, I must admit, you know, I mean, I know that opinion is divided on the Voodoo cards, but to be honest, I've always quite fancied one. Well, not always, but, you know, I've quite fancied one since, you know, I've started with the Retrofest stuff and been messing about with the Grampian Electronics machine. I mean, honestly, I've not really noticed that much of a difference between it and other machines, other than I know that there's games that take advantage of 3DFX that, you know, it can do. But apart from that, you know, apart from displaying a 3DFX logo on some of the games, I've not really felt that, you know, I've not really felt that it's necessarily been an advantage. Although I'm hoping that there are games that, you know, I can actually use with it. Like I said, like the original Tomb Raider. I've got the GL updater, so hopefully I should be able to sort that out. But, you know, the Yamaha sound card, well, that sounds absolutely brilliant. Let's have a listen to Canyon. Isn't that convenient? I had it ready to go because I've heard it before. I would like to get a pair of stereo speakers for this system at some point. I can't do this as well as Billy can. So, there you have it, the Loch Ness machine. I once again would like to thank Billy for the very, very generous donation of the motherboard, and I would like to thank Elmo3 for very generously sending me the board. And yeah, that really is a very, 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 very generous thing to have done, considering how much it cost. You can find out how much it cost in the video where I unboxed the bloody thing. But apart of all that said, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and please feel free to join me for my next video. Bye.